people are acting on a whole nother level on that. So can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Welcome back, everyone, to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we're here to talk about everything reality TV. Okay, let's get right into this video. I was so disappointed in Wednesday night's show, and that's why I'm just now doing a video, because I was a little salty. As you can see, my shirt says, of all the flavors, I choose to be salty. And I am very salty about Wednesday night's episode. You guys have known Drea has been my pick from day one. And I raved about how smart she was being. She wasn't telling anybody anything. She was playing the game. She was watching. She was observing. That I thought she would go far. Well, let's get into it. So, they go back to camp, and they're talking after tribal council from the week before. Mike is real happy with himself. He feels like he pulled off this big coup, got high out, I was backstabbing, yada, yada, yada. Lindsay and Dre talk about getting together and seeing what they're going to do since High's out now. Their ambulance has turned from an extra vote to a steal a vote if they use it together. Jonathan's getting a little testy with everyone. He really was in a mood. I mean, you've seen those Snicker commercials where the person is hangry and you give them a Snickers bar and then they're all good again. Well, he needs a bunch of Snickers bars. He's complaining he doesn't get to eat that much, what he's used to eating, that he can feel it, that he's losing a lot of weight, and that at this point, it's just draining his energy. Drea and Lindsay decide that they're going to try to go fishing. They take the net, which is not a net that you spread out like a gill net, if you know what that is. A gill net is something that's a net that goes out like this, and whatever fish swims through that net, it gets caught in the net. This is a casting net. A casting net is used and you throw it out into the water and then you pull it back up and it gets your bait, basically. So Drea and Lindsay are trying to get it untangled, and Jonathan's telling them, how to do it, and Drea says, well, you could help Jonathan. And he said, well, there's two of you working on it. If I get over there, I'm going to be in the way. And he got very offended by that, because he's like, I'm doing the fishing, I get the firewood, I keep the fire going, I keep us fed, and they don't give me any appreciation. So he's whining. Well, that's getting on everybody's nerves. And honestly, it was like, quit being a big baby. Everybody there is losing weight. Everybody there is hungry. Everybody there is going through the same thing you're going through. Just because they have a smaller body doesn't mean that it hurts any less. So they get to the challenge. And it's the do or die challenge. And they have a choice whether they compete in the challenge or whether they don't. The do or die challenge is where you have 3 boxes. 2 of them have skulls in it, 1 has flame. If you are lucky enough to pick the flame, you're safe. If you're not, you're out. So the key to this is they had to stand on a perch with their arms behind them holding onto a bar. And I mean, the perch was, you could barely get your heel, the back of your heel on it. And whoever was the first person out had no choice but to play the do or die. So they gave them a choice whether they wanted to play. Well, now when they're going into this, everybody's talking about getting Jonathan out. We got to get Jonathan out. We got to make sure he doesn't win immunity. We got to do everything we can to make sure he doesn't win immunity. Well, when it comes time to play the challenge, every single person except Lindsay sat out. How is that making sure that Jonathan doesn't win a challenge? Anyway, so it was between him and Lindsay. He ended up outlasting Lindsay, so Lindsay had to do the do or die. So they're scrambling around and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. Lindsay has to do the do or die. If she's safe, then they'll have a vote and somebody will be voted out. If she gets a skull, then she's automatically out and there will be no vote at tribal council. She will be the one going home. So they're scurrying around. Well, they can't do Jonathan now because he's won immunity. So they start tossing around names. Mike wants Dre out. Omar is thinking between Mike and Romeo. And they're trying to make all their plans and stuff. Well, then Drea decides, while talking to Omar, because he's telling her that he wants to make a big move and get Mike out, but that he's scared because Mike has the idol and he might play the idol. But if they make him feel safe, then he won't play the idol and they can vote him out with an idol in his pocket. To which Drea says, I'm taking his idol tonight. And Omar said, do what? And she said, I'm taking his idol tonight. He said, you can do that? She said, yeah, I can do that. I have a power. And she explains to him that, she can take his idol. So that's the plan, is for Drea to take his idol and then vote Mike out. That was the plan at the moment. Well, then Omar goes and talks to Lindsay and tells Lindsay about it. And Lindsay, knowing that it's just her and Drea that have this ambulance, so right now it's still a vote, but if one of them's gone, it turns into an idol. So she says, well, why don't we do this? If we do this, if you tell Mike what's going on and Mike gives you the idol to hold, he doesn't have it in his pocket, Drea can't take it, and then we vote Drea out. I swear I wanted to jump through that TV. I literally wanted to jump through that TV and bitch slap Omar. And then I was like, Drea, why did you tell anyone? Why didn't you just go into tribal council, do what you needed to do, and then go for it? No, you had to tell someone. Like I've been talking about for the last 2 seasons, these people have diarrhea of the mouth. They cannot shut up. So we go to tribal council. Lindsay has to do the do or die. She picks the right box. She's safe. So then there is going to be a vote. But Drea says, hold on a minute. And she pulls out this advantage and she starts reading it. And I saw Mike's head drop. And I thought, well, maybe nobody told him because he looks surprised. And he has his head down the whole time, shaking his head while she's reading. She reads the whole knowledge is power, how she can take it, da-da-da. And Jeff said, and I can verify, make sure that they're not lying because I know who has what. So then she turns to Mike and says, Mike, do you have an idol? And he looks up at her and he said, nope. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, that power did nothing because the person that it was going to be used on found out about it and gave their idol to someone else to hold. Mike gave his idol to Omar to hold. So Drea ended up being voted out. And I still want to throw something through the TV. I had to watch it twice because I watched it by myself, and then when my daughter came over and we were playing games, she wanted to watch it, and I was like, fine. I was just as mad the second time around. Like, Drea, you did this to yourself. You couldn't just keep your mouth shut. Close, zip. Same thing as last year. And then I saw somebody on YouTube that was making a big deal about it, saying that it was staged just to make the black women look stupid, look ignorant. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with gameplay. If she had, just for a couple more hours, kept this to herself, went to tribal, they did their whole thing, she takes his idol, and then she starts talking to people to vote him out. The ones that she knows she can get the vote. That's all she had to do, and she'd still be in the game. I just don't get it. It's like I said before. If I was on there, nobody would know anything that I had, ever. Unless they saw me getting it, they ain't gonna know. So now my pick is gone, which is Drea. Omar, he may be in a bit of trouble now because as Drea was leaving, she made a point to let everyone know that Omar was the only one that she told about that. And that he can't be trusted. So I think people may start, if they're smart, they'll start questioning. I mean, he's playing every single person there, and it's like they don't have a clue. Like, what are you doing? He can be loyal to no one but himself. And as we have seen in any reality competition shows, that never works out. Eventually you get caught. And that sends you home. So we'll see how it goes. So now Lindsay's amulet is an idol. So now she has an idol. Marianne has an idol. Mike has an idol. I see next week on the previews, a lot of them were wanting Jonathan out. I think there was also some friction between Omar and somebody else. I'm not quite sure. I don't really remember that much. We see Marianne talking to Romeo, saying, when I tell you this, you cannot tell anybody. No part of this plan can be discussed. So I'm not quite sure what that is. In her confessional, she said something about that she was actually playing the game, that she wasn't just a goat to be herded. So I don't know exactly. Maybe some more drama. So that's where we stand with Survivor. And I'm disgusted. And honestly, at this point, Marianne or Lindsay would be my pick. I don't trust Omar. He's a snake. I don't trust Romeo. I believe he's a snake. In the game, not as a person. This is what game-wise, is all I'm talking about. Mike, I think he's getting a little arrogant. So we'll see how that works. Will Omar give Mike the idol back? Or will he say, no, dude, you gave it to me. Possession's 9/10 of the law. Da, 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 da. As long as I have it, it's mine. Who knows at this point what Omar's going to do? because every week he surprises me with some other snaky move. But I guess that's the name of the game. Jonathan, he's starting to get on everybody's nerves. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So right now, my picks, I guess I'm going to have to pick 2. In case one of them get voted on. Maybe I shouldn't make picks. Because if I don't make picks, my pick can't get voted off, right? I wish that was how it worked. Let me know in the comments what you think. Who's your pick? Right now, I'm going to say Lindsay and Marianne. And we'll see where that goes. Remember, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything I've got coming up. That's about all I have for this video. I will see you guys next week. And until then, as always, much love.